right, hello and welcome to episode 19 of the Too Hard to Pass podcast. I am your co-host Juan Martinez, and to my left or to my right, it's Jacques Slade. It's the new year, everybody. Woo woo!
Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to the Too Hard to Pass podcast. Hope you guys had a good holiday break. We had a great holiday break, and we're back on.
Yeah, we're back.
We got a good show planned for you guys today.
We got a good show.
A lot of stuff, a lot of stuff to catch up on. A lot of stories to tell.
So, Jacques, you recorded Hard Pass without me. What's the deal?
No, it's not. It's not without you. It's just your spirit was there.
Right. Okay, you want to explain yourself on the show right now?
Yeah, I was recording. And your spirit was there, so I felt you over my shoulder, like being like, wow. "Oh, don't," like that kind of thing.
Wow. So what had happened was I was busy. I was not able to be there for the wow. So if you're only listening to this on the audio, Jacques just did the air quotes when I said busy, and I am actually quite offended by that. Not really. I'm not really offended.
Reason. No. Don't be.
No,
You had things to do,
did.
The hard pass just wasn't
the train had to keep
one
going,
of those things.
Yes. The train had to keep moving, and you basically just left without me. I get it. That's fine. That's okay.
I don't say left without you, but you had alternate transportation. Is all I'm saying.
Wow. I should be offended. I should be hurt. My feelings should be
No.
Wow. I am just, man, I can't. But how was the show?
It was good. It's good. Good show. We covered a lot of good stuff. Talked a lot about Kobe.
Yes.
Talked a little bit about wrestling. Talked about Kyrie. We talked about Ye. We talked about Edison Chin. We didn't talk about golf this time.
We'll get to that. I think we'll get to that on the show today.
We will, but we didn't.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it here. But
yes,
a good show all around. I think it's a good welcome back to Hard Pass show that I think people are going to really get into. My hair is super long now, guys, because I haven't cut it. So for those that are watching, I have a full head of hair here.
It's gonna be like a hair off. No, I'm not gonna show my hair. It's pretty bad right now.
Yeah, your hair is really long.
Yes.
I'm just starting to grow mine out. I think I'm gonna get some dreads and be like a cool guy.
Wow. Have you ever had dreads, Jacques, before when you were younger?
Never ever in my life.
What is the wildest hairstyle I guess you ever like the most out? Like, have you ever had like a?
No.
Did you ever blow it out? Did you ever like?
No. I've been super basic my whole life when it comes to haircuts.
Is that just like a convenience thing? Is it just like
convenience? Just because like I cut my own hair. Like I'm not going to the barbershop all the time. I just don't have that sort of that time really to go. Like my barbershop is like 45 to an hour away, and so I have to go way over there.
Right.
Yeah, and then sit there for an hour. So it's like a half day kind of thing, and I just like I'll just butcher it myself and make it look half decent, and then throw on a hat. I used to not wear hats very often, but now that my hair is longer, I've got to hide this mess that's in here. Yeah, a little gray. I got some grays coming in over here. Yeah, it's a bad situation.
No, well, I mean, I've kind of like the opposite. I've just kind of had like the hair all over the place through the years. It's been short, it's been long. I think it's partly because, like, in my family, I'm kind of double screwed because, like, both of my, my mom's side and my dad's side, they both went bald. Like, a lot of the, the males went, like, kind of had short hair. So I'm just like, I'm just going to enjoy this while I still got it. Kind of just do whatever.
Yeah.
So now I'm in the long hair era, or whatever you want to call it.
The long hair era. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, eventually we're going to go back to, like, short hair because this is getting really inconvenient. But, for now, in the meantime, I think I'm going to keep it on the longer side of things. But, Jacques, so, did you have any interesting things happen to you over the holiday break?
My I guess fortunately or unfortunately, I guess depending on how you look at it, my holiday break was pretty uneventful. I just kind of chilled here at the house. Did a little bit of work here and there, but nothing crazy happened. Yeah, it's been pretty
Right.
chill.
Right, right. So, I guess now is the time to share because I did send you a video before we started
You did.
recording,
You
and
did.
could you just for the audience, can you explain without I think I told you about it prior,
Yes,
but
you
like
did.
can you explain to the audience what you witnessed before we went live?
So, Juan put together a very special gift
Mm-hmm.
for his family in the Philippines
Right.
because his nephew was getting married.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just say Juan sent him a very unique gift.
Okay.
That's the
Right.
best way to explain it.
Right, right. Okay, okay. Yeah, so one of my nephews back home, Mike Nieto, was getting married. I think I've talked about him on the show before. He is a pro basketball player there right now, and he got married to a lovely lady named Amy. And unfortunately, we were not able to go to the Philippines for the wedding. Just circumstances, logistics, and all that stuff. It would have been tough to like do that, especially in light of like this year, because there's going to be a bunch of things happening this year. I'm like, whoo, that's going to be tough. But I still wanted to like send Mike something, as a show of like, hey, congratulations and all that stuff. And me being me, I had to do something different. Like like there are people who came from America to go to the wedding. They had like their presents, little envelopes and all that stuff, or like for actual presents and all that stuff. But I'm like, I'm not giving him an envelope. That's not my style. That's not how I
It's
do
not my
things.
style. This
AKA,
is
I'm
a
not.
style choice. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, AKA, it's not a bank account situation. But I thought I'd do something neat. So my first actual plan was to create a video for him, like like a skit or something, and to like maybe grab or get a hold of like someone relatively famous, to try and kind of just chime in and like congratulate them on the wedding and all that stuff. So it's unique. I'm all about like the unique presence, something that is unexpected. And my first thought was to get a hold of like a pro player, like an NBA player, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had it in my mind like a couple months before that I was gonna find a way to get a hold of Nick Young, Swaggy, aka Swaggy P. Why? Because I thought it'd be funny. For no
Mm-hmm.
other reason, I thought it would be funny for Swaggy P to like be on the video and to like wish Mike like I don't even know if like Mike's a big fan of Nick Young or anything like that. I just thought it'd be funny for my purposes. But I just thought it'd be neat, like if I could get like a skit where me and Nick Young would talk or something like that, and like wish Mike a congratulations on the wedding and all that stuff. Unfortunately, it never really got past like the planning phase. I kind of like put feelers out there, but it's just things don't work out or whatever, right? So as we got closer to the wedding, I was like, oh, okay, so what am I gonna do? So I turned to Cameo, which is this like this service where you like you hire celebrities or something, and they create videos for you, like do greetings and all that stuff. And I was looking through the list of NBA players that were available, and let me tell you, Jacques, it is a smorgasbord. It is there's a lot of NBA players to choose from, and they are in a huge variety of price ranges. And I was quite shocked at some of the players who had the audacity to charge like thousands of dollars. And I was surprised at some of the players who were charging like, oh, really, just that much for like that level of player, right? So I was going through the list and I was like, oh, cool, like maybe like a Vince Carter or like something like that would be cool. But I don't know. I never thought of Vince of like somebody who would send like a funny message. I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
just want it
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
congratulations. Like I figured like Vince would play it straight, right? Like it would be
Yeah.
something like that. So when I was going through the list, I saw Paul Pierce. Uh, see, there was the sigh right there, right?
No. I no.
And you had the
He
same thought that I did. And
good.
my first,
Okay.
and I was like, wouldn't it be great if I could get Paul Pierce to do a cameo while he's busy? Maybe he's at the crib and maybe he's got some friends with him, or, he's having a little bit of fun. That kind of thing. We all know, we've all seen the videos when that pretty much got Paul
We've
Pierce.
seen what he likes, what he does in his extracurricular
Yes.
times.
Yes. There was a small part of me that was kind of hoping that I could get Paul Pierce to do that while, he is, hanging out with some peoples.
Mm-hmm.
And the reaction that I would get from my sister would probably be something to the kind of like, what the hell was that?
Yeah. Yeah.
But, unfortunately, Paul Pierce, while it does say you can hire him to do a cameo, he just wasn't doing anything. Like, the last video that he did was like in 2022 or like 2021 or something. So I'm like, oh,
Well,
I guess. So there was no, I figured that there's probably no way to like get a hold of him. No, because for the price that Paul Pierce was charging, I figured he'd be like the most popular person on Cameo. When you consider like all of the videos that Pierce had, like, all of the clips that he has with like his show with KG, and like, just just his like general personality and get down, I figured there'd be a lot of like videos, but it hasn't been any action for like 2 years, so maybe he's just dormant at the moment.
Okay.
So I was going through the list and I was like, okay, well, I'm kind of running out of options here, until I see coming through in the clutch in the last second, Big Shot Robert Horry.
Big shot out.
Yes.
Big shot
Yes. So again, I didn't think Robert Horry would be like, putting like a funny video or anything like that. So I just kind of sent like a message like, hey, this is who's getting married and all that stuff. And initially, the video, like the request did not get, followed through or something like that. But I did notice that he was busy. He was like, posting videos and all that stuff. So I don't know if he had like a backlog or anything like that. But like on Christmas Day, the video showed up.
Christmas Day.
I'm no joke. On Christmas Day, I got the video and I was like, this is the best Christmas present ever. And sure enough, it's Robert Horry wishing my nephew, congratulations on the wedding. And he even said Uncle P, and I was like, okay, well, that's perfect. Because, so worked out, and I reached out to Mike's wife, Amy. And so it was a surprise. Nobody knew it was going to happen. It was just Amy, and like, I think my sister and like my niece knew about it. But
Yeah.
on the wedding day, I had several people. I asked several people, my sister, my other sister, like my niece, and like, my other cousins over there, like, look, people might be shocked or something, but like, just keep an eye out for a video from me and make sure you get his reaction. So I had like 4 or 5 people just ready to go to record. And sure enough, just during the reception, someone, the host or something, I'm not sure who that person was, but basically what he said was, we have a special video, special like something, a message from a family member. And I was like, okay, so he's gonna say me, right? Like, he's gonna. And he was like, oh, it's not somebody you expected. Like, and I can see the look on Mike's face, like, what is going on here? And then the screen flashes, and it's Robert Horry, and it says Robert Horry, 7-time NBA champion. And the look on his face was like, huh? He had this look on his face,
That's
like, what?
so sick.
What happened? Who's this? And he's like, both bewildered and like shocked and all that stuff. And you can see like his wife Amy's like just kind of like, I got you, or something like that.
That's cool.
And it was so great. The reaction was totally worth it. And the funny part was like afterwards, people were like, so Robert Horry's family? Even though it clearly says in the video, it comes from like me.
It comes from Cameo, and that it says it's from you.
Yeah. It says like, so, it comes from like me, but it does say like, oh, so your family? You guys are like, because, Mike, when he got married, he had like, a lot of guests, and some of them were like PBA players. So like pro basketball players were also there too. So a lot of people were asking him like, oh, so you guys are like family? And he was like, no, not that I know of, or something like that.
Did you guys see what it said? Did you guys pay attention? They just saw that it was Robert Horry, and that was it. That was enough.
Starstruck or whatever, right? But
that's cool though.
Yeah, no, I thought it turned out pretty well. I mean, I would have, I still, thanks, shout out to Big Shot Bob for doing that. coming through in the clutch like he always does.
Big shot Bob.
Big
That's
shot
cool,
Bob,
though.
man.
That's really
Big shot
cool.
Bob, man. Like
That's
there's
really
still
cool.
part of me. There's still a part of me that kind of hopes it would have been Paul Pierce in all of Paul Pierce's glory, but
Yes. This was probably better. Let's be fair. This was probably better.
This is probably more, let's say, proper. I guess is probably
more appropriate. Yeah,
more appropriate. Yes,
I'm sure your sister thinks this would be a lot more appropriate. I can't even imagine if they would have. I can't even imagine that she would have let that be played at the wedding, or if Amy
she wouldn't have known.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, Amy probably wouldn't have let that slide. Yes, you're probably right. Like Amy probably would not have let that slide if it was like Paul Pierce in all of Paul Pierce's glory. It probably. Would not
but
have
maybe Amy's. If she's, she gets the joke, then
yeah, I hope she would have. But it's fine. It's fine. It totally worked out. At the end of the day, I had Big Shot Bob has given us here so many memories, and personally for me, he gave me another memory, and so shout out to him
memory.
Christmas Day. The video. I woke up that Christmas Day, and you get your like Merry Christmas messages and all that stuff, and then like you see like cameo, and like he sent it. I got the video, and sure enough, I'm like, man, that's so great. That's so cool.
That's cool. I mean, it's and by the way, we should say this is not an ad for Cameo.
No. This is not an ad.
Yeah, this is not an ad for Cameo. This is just what happened, kind of.
This is
thing.
not a sponsored thing. It's
cool
not
moment.
SpawnCon or anything like that. No.
No SpawnCon.
No, not at all. Not at all. I don't know if I'll ever use that again, but you never know. But Jacques, I do want to ask you a question though. If you were in a similar situation to as I was in, could you get an NBA player to do that?
No, I'm nobody. I don't know any NBA players.
Okay. I guess that's the wrong question. Who is the? You don't have to name names. Who is what is the type of highest level if you had to get Jacques, you had to get the highest level celebrity that you could to make a video like that. What is the type of high level celebrity could you get? You don't have to name names. If it's just one of those hey, I guess kind of have to do this.
A D-list celeb at best.
D-list, okay.
At best.
I think you're lying, but okay.
I mean, I could probably get a high level YouTuber,
and that's not D-list. I mean, the YouTuber, if it's a big
name
YouTuber, right?
I could get a high level YouTuber, but celebrity in the traditional sense,
yeah,
maybe a D-list celebrity, maybe,
D-list.
And that's a maybe.
Okay. I think you're lying. I think you could get an NBA.
No,
All-Star
seriously, I'm nobody. I am nobody.
All right. I'm just. You're just being humble right now. I have to resort to Cameo.
I'm being honest. That's all. I'm honest. I got to resort to Cameo as well. If I want to get a big celeb, I gotta use Cameo. I don't have those kind of connections.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I make videos on the internet, bro. Nobody cares.
It could have been you too. There was also a brief second where I was like, could I just get Jacques to do it?
I'm nobody. They would have been like, who the hell is this guy?
No, I bet you. No, I'll be quite honest. I think some at least like Mike's teammates who are big sneakerheads probably would have recognized you at the very least. So I think that would have been cool for that. But I'm sure everybody else who's just in the audience are like, who's that guy?
who is this guy? Why is he congratulating him? What does he do?
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah. And I don't know this. Anyway, well, congrats to your nephew on his wedding. I hope he had a fantastic wedding and that everything went the way that him and his wife wanted it to go.
I was mostly more concerned about the video went well. I mean, everything else was kind of I've seen it. It's all good. Yes.
Of course. That's a cool gift, though. That's a That's a great idea. I like that idea.
I try. Like I said, man, I just can't give the regular present. It has to be something that's especially, I did want to go to the wedding. Unfortunately, just, circumstances would not have allowed me to do that. So, kind of had to rock with a unique present or something like that. So, but again, shout out to Big Shot Bob.
It's a good present.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Big Shot Bob coming through in the clutch.
Exactly. It's what was it? Vlade Divac hit that ball, thought the time was going to run out. Big shot Rob grabbed it, made that 3, beat the Kings. Good times. Good times.
It's how we do things. How we do things here in LA. 17-time world champion.
Yeah. By the way, I mean, of course, we are recording this like on a week that's been pretty terrible for the city of LA. So,
yes.
Thoughts, prayers, all that good stuff. And I feel for LA. I mean, fortunately we are like away from that. Like, we are kind of not outside of LA. But, my heart goes out to, like, everybody who's affected by that. Thankfully, I don't have any family or friends who have been affected by it. But, at the same time, you kind of just, you watch what's going on right now, and it's like, ugh. It's
it's pretty heartbreaking to see it. Yeah. We get fires here all the time, and we're
you just never think it's going to be like this, though.
Yeah,
right?
Never like this. We're kind of immune to it here just because there's so many fires here all the time.
Yeah.
That, but this one is... definitely has, like I was telling someone else earlier, that the fires are usually in places that don't have a huge like human impact. Like it usually has like, like this mountain's on fire over here, or this this gorge or something like that kind of stuff.
We've all
usually
been on the
happens.
freeway passing by like a mountainside that's been on fire.
The mountainside that's on. Yeah, that's usually kind
We've
of
all
the case,
done that.
but.
Yeah.
This one has a huge human impact, which makes it even more like heartbreaking for everyone involved. So definitely thoughts and prayers to everyone that's impacted. Like we lost our power, but that's nothing to complain about.
Yeah, no.
In light of everything else that's going on.
Yeah, any inconvenience that we are going through right now is very, very, not even like a blip. It's barely a blip.
Yeah, it's minimal by comparison.
Yeah, it's barely a blip to like what, people who have lost their homes, and like, pieces of LA, like pieces of our city are just like gone, and it sucks. It's it's terrible. So yeah, man. But I mean, that's the thing about, like, another thing with LA is like, we'll restructure, we'll rebuild, we'll do all that stuff. But that stuff is hard. Yeah, I feel for everybody going through that right now. All right, well, it's time to do the impossible pivot and actually get onto the show. 22 minutes in, but 2025, I guess, is the year of the Mamba. I did not expect that. I saw that on your Instagram post, and I was like, oh, Nike's actually like doing a formal rollout. I saw the commercial, which they're saying is like, hey, have a hard year and all that stuff. And I'm like, that's pretty mean. That's I get what they were going for. I understand the concept of the ad. I get it. It's very Kobe. It's very much in line with what he, it's very much like the Kobe system. What was it? Was it like this or something like that? Where it's like the triangle goes. Yeah, it's very much in that kind of thinking. But I was like, oh, that's kind of mean. Why do you want me to have a hard year, man? The year just started. Why you got to do that? But they're rolling out a for Protros, the Kobe 9 Elite, which is the Protro, like the masterpiece, which was the first colorway of the Kobe 9 Elite. And then we've got 2 Year of the Mambas. There's the eggplant version and the red version that's coming out this coming week. And then the All-Star, the Kobe 6 that we've kind of seen floating around on the internets for the past month or so. So I guess my question for you, Jacques, is like, what do you think of the rollout so far? And do you think this is going to be part of something like, do you think this is really like the beginning of like a Kobe brand for Nike?
My hope is that this isn't just a beginning of the year sort of burst of energy for the Kobe brand. Every year they do a year of the whatever it is sort of launch, and they include different footwear and stuff like this. Obviously it makes sense to do Kobe, but if they want it to, because it's the year of the snake, it makes sense to be Kobe, I should say. Right. I want it to be a full year of the Mamba, not just January's the year of the Mamba. You know what I mean? I want it to be a full year, and everything that I would hope that entails, from apparel to footwear and other sports to cleated sports to everything you would expect from a Kobe brand. When you say the words Kobe brand, I want that to come to fruition this year. Now, I think they have to be careful. Don't flood the market. I think it's going to start with the hype stuff, getting people hyped about it, but then eventually breaking it down and doing some stuff that's a little more consumer friendly, as opposed to fan friendly, I guess if that's a better way of saying it, or community member focus. I don't know. I just think I just want Year of the Mamba to be a Year of the Mamba, not just a month of the Mamba, I guess.
Right. I mean, I want it to be years of the Mamba. I want them to actually just announce like Kobe brand. Sign athletes, like officially designate like DeMar DeRozan as like your guy for like the Kobe brand, or any young up and coming like Nike guy as like your Kobe brand guy. Like that's what I want to see. I understand like it's the start of the new year, and it ties in nicely with like the year to snake and all that stuff. But I am in the same boat. I hope that this is really the beginning of something more. Like maybe we get like an announcement during All-Star weekend or something like that. Maybe even LeBron is a part of like not like he's not going to be a Kobe guy per se, but because he is in LA, maybe he can like help bring that in, or like Anthony Davis or something like that. Like it'd be nice if there was like a high level Laker to be there to kind of carry the torch in a sense.
That's an interesting take. I never thought about it that way. Well, I mean, I thought about it that way, but to hear like, yeah, Anthony Davis would make a good spokesman for the Kobe brand. Obviously, DeMar would. Mm-hmm. But I think they got to find somebody young. I think Devin Booker was that guy.
Yeah, he would have been that guy.
But he has his own shoe now, so you've got to find. They've just got to find someone new to kind of take that spot to really be like the Kobe shine. DeMar is up there in years. I think he's been in the league 10, 12 years or something like that, I believe.
More than that, really. It feels like
it's probably more than that. So it'd be interesting to see who they get to lead the Kobe brand right now, or lead the Kobe agenda right now. They don't have a Kobe brand officially, but lead the Kobe agenda for the for the foreseeable future.
Right, totally. And you did mention that it should be like the hype stuff first, like the more like to kind of just get people interested in everything. I did kind of notice that I have been seeing at least those Team Bank colorways in stores. I had a nephew who was here. It was Alex, like our co-host for the last episode. He got a pair of Kobe 8s, the Team Bank colorways, and I was just like, "Oh, you just bought it at the store? No problem." Like, yeah, no problem. I was like, okay. So Kobe's are making their ways into stores, both like the hype pairs and like the basic ones. And I have seen some apparel. I have seen some actual like Kobe apparel also in stores. So it's good to see that it's coming back in that sense, that it's not just like people who are like just being opportunistic resellers, just like grabbing every piece of like Nike Kobe stuff that they can resell. Like we're starting to see them in like stores, and it's just there. People who are fans can just go buy them now. So I think it's a step in the right direction, but yeah, no, I definitely hope that like the Kobe agenda just keeps going, and it's not just like a start of the year thing, and it's like just like because it's Lunar New Year, it's a year to snake. We just so happen to, just have these Kobe's lined up for you. Now we need more. We need more, man. Like, I think they really have a unique opportunity here because, I mean, LeBron's LeBron. Like his stuff is popular to a certain degree, but like I think Kobe has a chance to be like the Kobe agenda, the Kobe brand, or whatever you want to call it, has a chance to really like be transcendent at the moment, and really like kind of get people buying the product, and like just because I just want to see Kobe's all the time now. I need this, and hopefully it also leads to like new product down the line too. So
yeah, I kind of see like a Kobe line that's like a premium athleisure brand, I guess, in a sense. Sure. Like premium stuff, premium looks, premium logo placements, not big crazy logos or anything like that, just small reserve stuff that's kind of that I feel like fits Kobe's style. But like a futuristic version of like Kobe's style for the modern consumer. I think that would be really special.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely the hope. So yeah, no, let's hope this is not just like a month or 2 months. 2 months of the Mamba, or like they do these 2 months of the Mamba, and then they do a thing for Kobe Day, and then that's kind of it. And then people get mad at Vanessa for teasing these shoes, and then nobody actually gets them. It's like it's just this cycle that kind of keeps repeating for like the past year or so. And I'm like, we need more. We need more. So yeah, no, I mean it's a good step in the right direction, but let's definitely hope for more. All right, so let's move on to something that I think you have a lot of thoughts on, Jacques. The TGL.
Yes.
You posted a video. I only managed to catch like the second half of like the first episode of like the golf league, the high tech golf league, kind of Rocket League, kind of like you know, golf, stadium golf, I think arena golf, stadium golf, whatever they're calling it. It's
Stadium golf.
stadium golf. And yeah, the first episode it had like I think it was like New York against whoever.
New York against the Bay, and the Bay
smacked them.
New York.
Yeah.
Oh, they
and
absolutely spanked New York.
I'll be honest, it took me a second to kind of like, because I've been kind of watching videos here and there of like TGL to kind of get a sense of like how it actually works. And I got on pretty quick, I kind of know my golf and all that stuff, but like it took me a second to kind of get used to how they're doing it. But yeah, no, I like the way it looked. I like the setup and everything, but I also do have like a lot of like thoughts about how it could be better. I mean, obviously it's like the first episode. This is like growing pains. This is like them getting people like, in the door, kind of interested in all that stuff at first.
Yeah.
But I think you have like more detailed thoughts though. Like, I think for me, oh no, I'll just say my bit first. I think for me, I think I need to see these players talk a little bit more smack, man. Like, shout out to Shane Lowry. Like, he was definitely like one of the players there who was like really trying to kind of get like some energy and like, kind of talking that ish to everybody. Xander Schauffele was there here and there, bits and pieces. But like, Shane was definitely like the one who was out there. But yeah, that's just one note that I would have. There's a couple of things too. The crowd, nice crowd, but I think it could use a little bit more. I don't want to say the word, but diversity.
Yeah.
But
I don't know why you don't want to say the word. That's what it needs. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what it needs.
Yeah, there's something like that. The music part of it was also interesting. I was like, I think I heard 2 DMX songs, and then everything else was like 80s. Like, oh, yeah, I heard like Bon Jovi or something like that, and I'm like, yeah, it's just maybe some song like obviously it's not my thing, but like some songs like in the 2020s, like so that people would like kind of be more more interested in it would probably help. Like it works for me. Like, hey, I'll always be like excited for like someone to play like X gonna give it to you.
Right.
In a golf course or something like that. That's cool for me, but I'm probably not the target demo that the TGL is probably going for. So,
right.
It's just those little things, but you definitely have more detailed thoughts about it. So, you want to elaborate a little bit more on like, because I also want to hear it too. Like, yeah.
I think it was a good showing for their first episode. I've seen some comments about, oh, it was their first one. Don't expect it to be perfect. And I get that, but also I'm like, you have every sport in the world to bank on and to research to see how this should go. And I just kind of feel like they missed the mark on that. Again, it was a good first showing, but there's definitely some room for improvement. So that's great. Like the crowd, there were too many, as someone sent a message to me, too many I paid for this type folks in the house. That's
definitely what it looked like. That's definitely
as opposed to fans. And I think once you get the real fans in the house, that's when you're going to really feel the energy for the building, as opposed to those that that are invested financially into it and are there because of their privilege, not because they're fans. I think that makes that kind of takes away from it.
Right.
I think the sound needs to be mixed better from the players to the audience to the balls. All of that I feel like needs a slightly better mix. It's live, but it just didn't feel balanced, and I think that would help make the product a little bit better. The announcers did a great job. I think they did great. They did what you do at a golf tournament, but I think they need less of that. They need more of, like you said, like a Rocket League championship. Like listen to those announcers and blend that with a traditional golf announcer. And I think that'll give you a better spot for this to be, as opposed to just feeling like it's a digital. Like, I don't want it to feel like a digital version of golf. I want it to feel like something totally different. And in order for it to do that, I think you need to just approach it different and look at it differently. It's, I guess, to sum it all up in a sense, I guess, like, you hear a lot of players, and I mentioned this in my video on social, you hear a lot of players talk about oh man, you got to see it. Like once
Mm-hmm.
you're in there, like, oh
Right.
man. And that's all good. That's all great. But they've got to find a way to translate that through the medium. And right now they're not doing that. They're translating traditional golf, and I think they need to translate how special this is and what stadium golf really means. They let us
Right.
feel stadium golf. We don't right now we feel manicured lawns and beautiful bunkers. We need to feel stadium golf, and whatever that means, let us feel that. Let us feel the newness. We already know what the traditional feels like. Let us feel what the newness feels like, and let that be the thing that pulls us in. If that, for to drag on an answer for 8 hours.
Do you think a problem of that though is going to be that it's going to be hard to actually like get people to feel that because there's only I guess that's the only stadium right now, right? The SoFi
Yes.
Stadium that's in Florida. Like it's going to be hard to get people to like really experience it and feel like, yeah, I know it's cool when you're there, but if I'm in LA, if I'm in New York, if I'm in like the Bay or something like that, like how do you get these people to feel that? Like, I'm sure it's like a different experience once you're there. I'm sure it's going to be like exciting and hyped and all that stuff. But how can you get these people to feel that if there's not a place for me to go? Like, for example, for me, I would
Yeah.
like to go
Yeah.
see it. Like, I think that's going to be an issue for the golf league is like, it's cool. It looks cool on TV. I would like to see that. And how can I go see that unless I'm in Florida? Like, if it was like Top Golf or something like that, it'd be neat. Like if like Top Golf
Yeah.
had like a version of the TGL like in one of their like
Mm.
areas, you could like, hey, here's like a little mini version of the golf league at Top Golf, so you could kind of get a feel for like the greens when they like move up and down and undulate and all that stuff. Or you have like the giant like screen, kind of get a feel for that too. So I think that's going to be like one challenge for them is that there's only one place right now. There's only one place in the world. I mean, ideally, I'm guessing they're going to want to have like actual home stadiums at some point, but
Yeah.
I think that's like a ways away. So for now, it's going to be that kind of challenges. Like, yeah, like I would like to feel that, but how? How unless I like take a flight to Florida to actually see it for myself, and even if I can even afford those tickets. Now, um, week 2 is going to have Tiger, and I think that's going to be like critical
Yeah.
because Tiger is a big selling point of this. Like he's a founder, he's really invested in the league, and he's like the captain of one of the teams. And I'm gonna be interested to see like how people react to like Tiger in that kind of different setting, and whether we're gonna see like the Tiger that I think we all know is there. Like here's the thing with like Tiger, because as somebody who has been like a huge fan of Tiger Woods ever since he was like a kid, thanks to my dad and my brother, they were huge golf fans, so I kind of became like a Tiger fan too by proxy. Like there was this famous article, I think it was like in GQ, like in 96 or 97 or something like that. And it featured Tiger being more like, if you could imagine Tiger being more like a Charles Barkley type, like just one to like talk smack and like, really
Mm-hmm.
say his piece and all that stuff. And that article kind of like, I don't know why Tiger got this feeling out of this, but he felt like he was like exposed to a certain degree, and that kind of colored like
Mm.
his experience ever since. Like he's been more guard. Like the joke was during like the mid 2000s. Like as great as a player he was, there was kind of like a robotic feel to him. Like the way he would
Mm.
like, do press conferences, he would answer questions and all that stuff. It was like my swing feels good. My golf swing feels good. I like my chances. Like there was kind of like a robotic sense of that, and part of that was because he felt betrayed by that article. And I was like, no, but if that's who you really are, then let us see that.
Right.
And my hope is that with the golf league, we kind of like sometimes with the match, like those made for TV like tournaments, we kind of see bits and pieces of that. Especially like when Charles Barkley is there and he's kind of talking smack to Tiger. Tiger would like
Yeah.
snipe back and all that stuff. So my kind of hope is that it's a bummer that it's happening now. Like when Tiger is at like the tail end of his career, it'd be great if this was like happening during his prime. But it'd be great if we could get the real Tiger Woods, the one that only few people get to see and hear. Like I'm sure Rory, when they're not like when the cameras aren't on, I'm sure has seen that version of Tiger
Yeah.
Woods.
Oh, I think they
My
all have. They all have.
That's the thing is like, but we don't. We as like the fans, the public have never seen that. And my hope is that because Tiger is so invested in this and really is probably determined to make this work, I think he has to know that a big part selling point of this is him, and that his personality, if he has a chance to like kind of break from like the common perception of who he is, I think would be huge for TGL.
Because it'll be big for the brand. It'll be big for the brand. Yeah. I'd love to see that version of Tiger, but oddly enough, so I was watching some stuff on social today, and they're saying that the biggest trash talker or the best trash talker is Kevin Kisner, which
I've heard that too.
I would not have expected. So it'll be interesting to see if they like we'll see.
Oh, is
see
he on the
what
other
he's
side?
really
Is he on
bringing
the
to
other side? Is he on their
No,
team?
he's on Tiger's team.
Oh, he's on Tiger's team. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see.
That's good.
I don't think we have any Max maybe. Wait, Max is on. Wait, what team is Max on? Hold on.
Oh wait, isn't Max on the LA team with the Thagala? Sahith Thagala,
yeah. Okay,
right?
so it's Max and Thagala, and maybe Max talks trash. I don't see Thagala talking trash. He just seems like Thagala seems like too nice of a guy,
right?
To talk trash.
But now that you mention it, so it's going to be LA against Jupiter, right? Like the following week too. I feel like maybe they set this up so that they can have Kisner and Tiger maybe being like the trash talkers, and Homa's in there too. So maybe that's why they set it up this way, is like so we can kind of get like the two teams that maybe will talk the most ish. And that's the hope.
And I like. Are you afraid to talk trash to Tiger if you're Max Homa or Colin Morikawa?
Better not be.
Or
Better not be. Not anymore. Especially not now. Especially not now. Yeah, I wouldn't be. Of course, I say that because I'm a person behind the screen, but but if you want this thing to work, like that's part of the appeal. Like, that has to be part of like the draw. Is like we get to hear these players, like you're never gonna hear them like talk like what Shane Lowry was doing last week. He's not gonna do that like on the regular tour. But so this is a chance for like the personalities to really shine, and I think that has to be a huge part of the selling point of the golf league. Is like, this is all cool, like all of like the simulations and all that stuff, but we need to see like these guys really showing us like what they're all about, and and I hope they're, and we can't force it. We can't force like these people to have a personality or to have like that kind of engaging like draw to people. You just hope that it's there though. I hope it's there. I think, like I said, I've always thought Tiger had it in him. It's just that he became guarded because of like things that happened early on in his career. So I hope is like we're so far removed from that now. Tiger should just be like, man, whatever, just like talk his trash, man, talk his ish.
We'll see. I'm actually gonna be there in Florida for this match.
Right. Yes.
So we'll see.
Yes.
We'll see how we'll see how it goes.
Say hi to Tiger for me. I know you.
Right. Like,
I'm sure you're. Yeah. Can you do me a favor? I have another nephew that's gonna get married, or like another family member that's getting married or something in a couple of years or whatever. If we could just like pre-record, and then I'll just like edit in like the name of the wife or something, or the husband at some point, and I'll just like I'll just edit in that name. If you could just get Tiger to like name of like a couple of like nieces, nephews, cousins, and all that stuff, that'd be great.
I'll get an AI. We'll create a Tiger AI and let that do it for you.
I am so glad nobody. Now that you mentioned that, I am so glad no one said like, "Is that AI?" Like just because
for Robert Orr,
yeah. Oh, it was funny. Asking my sister when I first like brought this up to him, she actually thought I could get LeBron, and I was like, "Your son, LeBron, right? Not LeBron James, right?"
They know how famous you are, man. They know how famous you are. That's it.
And then I had my niece. I told her about it too, and she's like, "No, I don't think you can get LeBron, but I think you could get like Steph or KD." And I'm like, "What? Who do you think I am?"
They know how famous you are, bro. They know.
Whatever.
They know.
I that that made me kind of feel good. It's like, oh, you think so highly of me that you think I have that kind of pull, but no.
The world knows. The world knows, Juan.
Nah,
you're famous.
Nah. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. All right, so in light of like everybody's favorite sneaker Mount Rushmore Plus, I thought we'd kind of go through like some quick things that I saw on the internet before we go, though, Jacques.
Okay.
So, have you seen this new logo from Cade Cunningham? First of all, I'm not the biggest person who knows a lot about Cade Cunningham. He's like a player on the Detroit Pistons, and he
No, I
recently
haven't
got
seen it.
a logo on his Nike GT Cut PEs, and I saw the logo, and it's I thought it was like a good use. I like, I'm not the biggest fan of like, people using their initials or their whatevers for like, logos. But somehow they managed to make use of his name, Cade, Cade, and turn that to a star. And I was actually quite impressed by it. I was like, oh, it can be
Oh,
done.
that's cool. That's
Yeah,
cool. I like
right?
that.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about Cade Cunningham. He plays for the Pistons. I think he was like a rookie like 2 years ago, so he's like an up and comer. Maybe he could be a Kobe guy if he plays well enough. If we're looking for like a next generation, maybe he could be that guy. But also he has like this dope logo, so I'm like, I don't know. It kind of looks neat, so I'm just like, I just wanted to shout that out because I am just so done and tired with these logos that have like their initials and their numbers just like amalgamation and something. It just kind of looks like this
Yeah.
sea of like, whatever. And if you're not watching the video, my fingers are kind of just going all over the place, and it just like it looks like a mess of whatever. But
Yeah.
somehow they made Cade into a star, and yeah, no, quite impressed by it. I was just like,
Yeah,
shout out to
that's a cool logo. I like that.
yeah. I was
That's like if you're gonna use somebody's initials, that's the way to do it.
yes,
That's
exactly.
definitely the way to do it.
Yes, and I know I hate doing this because we've done it like through the years, but like the Paul George logo is the one that always stands out to me as like, dude, what are we doing? It's just a P and a
Yeah.
G, and it's like, oh come on, like, oh, you can kind of make out 13, oh big whoop. It's like, come on,
Yeah.
like, like give me the Kawhi logo with the claw, like that was
With
always
the
one of
claw,
my
yeah.
like one of my favorite modern ones was that one, but yeah. All right, next up, the Zion 4. That was revealed over the break or something, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
It came out, and I just looked at it, and I was okay. Well, it kind of looks like the Luca 3 to a certain degree. There's like a Luca 3 vibe to it, but I think people, the most interesting part of the reveal was like the jokes that people had for Zion, because it's a bummer what's going on with him, not always on the
Yeah.
court, just like the potential has not been fulfilled. But
Not at
yeah,
all.
like it's a bummer, and but also it doesn't help that the shoe. I don't know. Just looking at the official images, I haven't had a chance to really like get a real deep look at it, but so far it's not really impressing
Appealing.
me. It's not really
Yeah.
appealing to me. Like
It
the
looks
Zion
super
3,
basic.
yeah, at least the Zion 3 was kind of going for something with like the spotted, the 3D, like, that kind of effect and everything. It was
Yeah.
trying to go for something. This kind of feels like a step back, and it's a shame. Like, this is the wrong shoe at the wrong time, I feel. Like, considering where Zion is at his career, and feels like he's already at a crossroads, even though he's so early in his career. It feels like everybody's kind of turning on him, and it's a bummer. It's a bummer that this is the
Yeah.
shoe that comes out at this time, because I feel like if it was like a hot shoe, maybe that could kind of help kind of turn the tide a little bit. Obviously, his performance is that matters the most.
Matters
But
the most, yeah.
This doesn't help. This doesn't help Zion's situation at the moment. Like, it's people just gonna have like their jokes, and they're like, oh, he has more shoes than games like this year or something, like, those kinds of comments.
Oh.
So yeah, it's a bummer.
I mean, and rightly so. He hasn't been playing a lot, so the shoe. It's hard for him to sell a shoe if you're not in the game and you're not living up to the caliber. I mean, we as a collective put so much expectation on him.
Right.
That like I think about it sometimes, like it's got to be challenging for him to be like, oh, like to see all these headlines about not living up to your potential or not being what people thought you were going to be. I hope at the end of the day that he's comfortable with who he is, and knows that regardless of what he does, that it's good enough for him just to be Zion and not chase anything else.
Right. I mean, hopefully he stays true to who he is. It's just that you hope that he's able to at least like, get healthy enough that he can like live up to some of the potential. I mean, like, I think we are at this point where it's like, we just want to see him on the court now.
Yeah.
And, I'm not one of those players, like, I'm not one of those fans who's like, oh, he's a bust or anything like that. No, you just want to see him like at least thrive, at least like, be on the court and like, do reasonably well. Like, that's just the hope at this point.
I don't see him as a bust I don't think that's the right. If anybody
Sure,
looks at it
sure.
that way, that they just don't. The man keeps getting injured. It's more about injuries than it is being a bust. And so
Yeah, yeah.
if people
And
if people see
no
him
one
as
gets
being a
injured on
bust,
purpose. No one gets injured on
yeah.
purpose. Like this is all
He's
just
not Sean Bradley, guys. He's
yeah,
not like
yeah.
out here just like 7 feet, not knowing what to do with whatever he has. Don't look
Yeah,
at it that
yeah.
way.
Yeah, totally. And last thing, the Anta, we talked about it in the show a little bit. Anta and Kyrie Irving, they announced that they have they have signed three players to, I guess the Kai brand. I think they're gonna be they're not gonna be wearing necessarily like Anta stuff. They're gonna be wearing Anta Kai stuff.
Anta Kai stuff, yeah.
Right. So and they're relatively young players. And I think that's a good move on them. A good part, to kind of get the brand out and let them wearing the Kai team shoe. And I think we talked about we wrote it in a script. I think it's neat that they're calling it the Kai One, so that people kind of get the feeling that they're still getting a Kai One, even though it's not the Kai One shoe,
the Kai signature shoe. Yeah,
It's neat that instead of the Kai, if it just said Kai team, like the Anta Kai team. Maybe a kid would be like, oh, I'm not getting the actual Kai signature shoe, but because they're calling it the Kai One team, you kind of still get the feeling that you're getting the mainline signature shoe, even though it is technically a takedown model. Same thing with the Kai One Speed. It's I think that's a good move on their part. Now, do you think Kai eventually though needs to sign a player that is of a higher caliber, I would say. No offense to the players that they sign, Derek Jones, Daniel Gafford, and all that stuff, but they're not necessarily star players. They're good role players. I mean, they were very helpful, getting the Mavs to the finals and all that stuff, but I wouldn't call them stars. Do you think for not necessarily when Kyrie retires, but in the immediate future, it would be beneficial for Anta and Kai to sign a star level player to that brand?
To
Kai, yeah,
to Kai's brand.
Right.
I don't think to Kai's brand, not yet. I think they need to continue building the business in America and let that grow until it gets a little bit more mind share. I look at it like the Curry brand with UA. Curry just signed De'Aaron Fox last year or whatever it was last year. And he's 13 shoes in, 12 or 13 shoes in or something like that. So I don't think that we need to rush it. I think we often ramp up the timeline because of we've seen it happen before, and so we know these are these things that are possible. But I think Kai needs to continue to establish himself as a brand, get a few more years under his belts. And when I say year, I'm think of that as in generations of kids. So he gets this graduating class, he needs the next graduating class, and maybe a few almost a high school run, a 9, 10, 11, 12. He needs to get those out into the world. I think because those four will influence the four below them, so that gives him an 8-year gap kind of there with the kids. And those kids will then be look at the Kai brand as something that they aspire to, I think. So I think he needs to continue doing that. And once that happens, then naming somebody to the Kai brand, or maybe adding someone else to the Anta brand. Yeah, I don't think he needs to do it yet. I think eventually, but I want him to wait.
Right. All right. Well, yeah, take that kind of approach. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, that is it for episode 19 of the Too Hard to Pass podcast. Shout out to you, Jacques. Shout out to Robert Horry. Shout out to Tiger Woods, your close personal friend, who I hope Tiger Woods, y'all. Yeah. But yeah, no. So thank you again for watching, listening, and all that good stuff. Leave the ratings, leave the good stuff, and all that. Leave a comment. Just boost the numbers and all that stuff. We greatly appreciate it. We'd like to, sell out and put ads on this thing. That'd be pretty funny. Do ad reads. Do shameless ad reads. I am all
shameless for that. Ad reads.
I will gladly do that for this show. But anyways, yeah, no. So Jacques, where can people find you on the internet?
I am Cousteau, Kustoo, and I'm all over the internet places. So you can find me on all the places on the internet at Cousteau. Thank you guys for watching the show. We appreciate you checking us out. We've got a good year planned. We're gonna keep this show going, and we're glad that you guys are rocking with us. So we appreciate you. And comment, subscribe, leave the thumbs up, and all those things.
Oh, and if you want to leave a email, the email is
email
yes.
us.
We'll do a mailbag at some point in the future as well. So the email address is toohardtopasspodcast@gmail.com. Again, that is toohardtopasspodcast@gmail.com. That is the number 2. So yes, thank you again for watching and listening and all that good stuff. And we will catch you next week. Peace. We out.